Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to another video. If you are new here, hey guys, what's up? My name is Naikuya and I talk all things about business, Christianity, and lifestyle. Today is a business video and today we're focusing on Pinterest marketing. Specifically, if you are an e-commerce brand, today we're going to be talking about how to get your products found on Pinterest so that way you can generate more traffic and generate more awareness on the platform and also convert more sales. Let's get started. So if you're new here, you might not know that I am an owner of an SEO and Pinterest marketing agency. And so one of our services is Pinterest management and marketing services, where I basically help brands leverage the platform in order to drive traffic to their website, increase their global brand visibility, so having customers find them all around the world using Pinterest, and then as well as using Pinterest as also a lead sales generator. So having their products show up in search results, having it show up in users' feeds, or just creating content for the brand in order to drive more sales. So I want to focus on exactly how you can get your products as an e-commerce brand found on Pinterest so that way you can accomplish the same result. Let's jump right into it. Go ahead and grab you something to drink. I have my rosé wine. You guys know I love my rosé wine, or maybe you don't know, but now you do. Oh, that brand is good. That brand is so good. Let's get started. So the first thing you want to do as e-commerce brand in order to get your products to show up organically on Pinterest is to apply for the Pinterest Verified Merchant Program. Listen up, if you are serious about using Pinterest for your business this year, I have a course for you. I created a Pinterest marketing course that's going to help you leverage the power of Pinterest to not only drive quality website traffic to your website, but also help increase your brand awareness globally, as well as increase your store's conversion. So that means more product sales, that means more email signups, that means more of a community. So if you're interested in learning how to create a Pinterest business strategy for your service-based brand or for your e-commerce brand, then make sure that you check out my Pinterest marketing course. I'll have all the details more about this course down in the description box so you can learn more. And these are for the people who are really serious about using Pinterest for their business in 2023. And you can complete this course in as little as 10 hours if you're an e-commerce brand and less than 5 hours if you're a service-based brand. Okay, back to the video. The Pinterest Verified Merchant Program helps people on Pinterest discover and buy from your brand. And as a verified merchant, your pins may appear organically to people who are searching for products and shopping on Pinterest. So once you apply for the Pinterest Verified Merchant Program, you get this little blue check mark on your account. So let me show you what it looks like on mine. Now, since I'm a service-based brand, I actually still sell digital products. And I applied for the Verified Merchant Program and I got accepted. And this is what my profile looks like. As you can see, it says Verified Merchant. This retailer meets Pinterest merchants guidelines. So make sure before you apply, you read the guidelines to actually be accepted, because if you're denied 3 times, it's going to be very hard to get accepted into the program. So keep that in mind. Also notice that I have a little blue check mark here. And with that blue check mark in the Verified Merchant, I have a shop tab now. And now people can shop my products or be able to find my products online. Now, I do want to say this, wherever your Pinterest account, whatever country your account is set up in, is only going to be where your products are dispersed to. Basically meaning, if you are a US retailer, your shop only shows to people who are using the Pinterest platform, or maybe they're on their mobile device. It's only going to show to US consumers. So if you're trying to target people in the UK or in Australia, you'll actually have to set up a separate catalog feed, whether you're in Shopify or WordPress, that actually targets let's say Australian consumers or target the United Kingdom consumers. So keep that in mind. Now, if you aren't able to do that, no worries. This does not mean that your products cannot still show up in search results. This just basically means if you are a UK brand, I'm in the US, I'm trying to find a product like yours. Basically, if I come to your profile, I won't see your shop tab. But if I'm searching for items using keywords and you offer a product like that, your product can show up in search results. So keep that in mind. So that's the first. Now, the second thing you want to make sure you do while you're waiting for your account to be approved, it usually takes 24 to 48 hours to hear back from a Pinterest rep. In that meantime, you want to set up your profile and make sure it's optimized to target your target consumers. You also want to make sure you optimize your boards as well and optimize content. Make sure you're adding content, idea pins, standard pins, and you want to make sure these are optimized as well. What a lot of people seem to forget is that Pinterest is a visual search engine. Think about if Google and Instagram had a baby, you'd have Pinterest. It's the largest visual search engine in the world, and it beats out Google image search at number 1. Oh, and I also want to say that Pinterest is actually making a bold and big move for 2024 when it comes to commerce on the app. They're really trying to compete with Amazon. So if your shop is not on Pinterest, if you're not a Pinterest verified merchant just yet, right now is the time to get on the platform to take hold of all the shopping features that are about to come out to help e-commerce brands sell and engage more with their audience. When it comes to optimizing your profile, you want to make sure that you're doing keyword research. Now, this video is not a keyword research video. If you want to learn how to do keyword research on Pinterest, there are 5 different methods that I go over in this video right here. I'll leave it down in the description box. You can click on it and watch that video, and I'll deep dive into how to do keyword research on Pinterest so that way your profile and your content and your products are actually being shown to the right people. But just a brief overview, you want to make sure that you have keywords in your profile title, keywords in your profile descriptions. Then over here under the save tabs is where you have all of your boards. So for example, I have a Pinterest marketing board, and this is the board title. It has keywords in it. For example, the keyword I researched was Pinterest marketing tips. I found that that was a high search volume keyword, so I made sure that was in the board. You also want to make sure you have keywords in your board description. And when it comes to your content, you want to make sure that you're adding relevant content to relevant boards. Basically meaning, for example, my Pinterest marketing board, I wouldn't add anything about Instagram to this board because it does not make sense for the board and it won't make sense to Pinterest. Pinterest goes off of your keywords. It goes off how people are engaging with your content as well. So you want to make sure everything makes sense where it makes sense. Another thing that I also want to say that is very important when it comes to your boards, you want to make sure for your e-commerce brand that you have relevant boards. What I mean by that is that if you have, let's say, if you're a women's fashion brand, there should be no reason why you have a food board because you don't sell food on your website, correct? Or I'm guessing you don't. So why would you have a food board? It does not make sense, and you're also going to throw off Pinterest algorithm because food and fashion just do not coincide. There's no keywords that relate. So it does not make sense for your brand. It's not going to make sense to the consumer. And so you want to make sure that you have relevant boards. Another thing I want to say is that when you're an e-commerce brand, or if you're just using Pinterest for your business in general, it is so important to pin mostly your content. Now, if you ask me, I only pin my content. 100% of the content you find in my boards are mine. So for example, this Pinterest marketing board, if you scroll down, you only see my face, you only see my content, you see my boards. I only show my content. I only pin my content, and I'm keeping scrolling. You don't see anybody else's stuff here. Now, the main reason why this is so important is because let's say somebody is suggested your board in their feed. The goal for somebody to go to your board, you want to drive them off the platform, right? You want to get people over to your website. That's one of the main reasons why e-commerce brands use Pinterest. If I'm going to your board, you want to basically increase the amount of chances that I actually click on your actual pin and not somebody else's pin that you added to that board. So, for example, if you're pinning 20% only your content and 80% somebody else's, the chances are if I click on the board that was suggested to me, I'm going to probably end up on somebody else's website and not on your website. So how can you eliminate that? Only pin your content. And it honestly just makes sense in general. On Instagram, on TikTok, you're not pinning anybody else's videos, right? You're not uploading somebody else's video as your own, right? The same thing on Pinterest. You want to make sure that, or I recommend that you only pin your own content. You only create and publish your own content. So number 3 to getting your products to show up on Pinterest is actually making sure that your products on your website have keywords in them. This is so important. I can't stress this enough. When you finally become a Pinterest verified merchant, you have to upload your catalog to the platform. Shopify, I believe, does it automatically for you. WordPress, you have to have a plugin and so forth. When you do this, Pinterest basically takes all the metadata from your site and uploads it onto Pinterest. So basically, whatever title you have for your product on your site is going to show on Pinterest. Whatever product description you have for your site is going to show up on Pinterest. You cannot change the product title and product description of your products in your shop tab or in your catalog on the Pinterest platform. Well, let me just say, you actually can, but it's going to change back to what it originally is on your site within 24 hours because your feed ingests 24 hours from your website. So if you make any changes on your website, it takes about 24 hours for those changes to be updated on Pinterest. And so if you did not change anything on your website when it comes to your product title and product description, then on your Pinterest platform, if you go ahead and change up everything because you found out these keywords are better to target on Pinterest, it's actually going to revert back to whatever you have on your website. Now, here's why it is so important to have keywords in your product title and your product description over on your actual website. This is actually also good for Google SEO, but let me show you why it's important. Let's say, for example, I'm shopping for a top like this, right? Whether I'm going to Google or whether I'm going to Pinterest, what do you think I'm going to be typing in on Pinterest to find a top like this? Well, I'll probably would type in pink mock neck long sleeve top, right? So let's head over to Pinterest and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. So I typed in pink long sleeve mock neck top and look at all the options it gave me. So I'm scrolling down, it's giving me a lot of options that are relevant to what I actually typed in, right? I also want you to take notice of the keywords of the items that are popping up first on my feed. They most likely match exactly what I typed in and it makes sense. Now, here's where a lot of e-commerce brands are making the wrong mistake when it comes to naming their product. No one is going on Pinterest and typing in the Marissa top. No one's going onto Pinterest and typing in the Ophelia top. So if your products on your site do not have keywords on them, once it ingest over onto Pinterest, it's going to be really hard for somebody to find your product because they're not typing in names, they're typing in keywords. So let me show you some examples of brands who are not doing it right. So for example, this brand right here, Le Pink Chateau, is a commerce brand on Pinterest. They are a verified merchant because you see the blue tag here. But this top here is called the Sheila top. I'm not going on Pinterest typing in the Sheila top if I'm trying to find a top that looks like this. Here's another example of a brand called Luxe Label Miami. They're also a verified merchant. This top is called the Nancy top, and then they have Ivory Small. If I were to say, what do you think a Nancy top Ivory Small looks like? Are you able to tell me what it looks like based on the criteria of the product title that I gave you? Probably not. Now, what do I think a product like this should sound like if I'm typing it into a search bar on Pinterest? Well, looking at this, I would probably type in short sleeve ribbed mock neck top, and I'll probably add white in there. If I gave you that description, you can probably picture what that's going to look like, correct? But if I say Nancy top Ivory Small, you have no idea what that top looks like, which is why it's so important that you are actually adding keywords to your product titles. Now, you can have names for your titles of your products, but just make sure you're adding keywords. So let me show you a good example of a brand who actually names their product, but they're using keywords as well. So here's a brand called Girls Will Be Girls. They're a verified merchant on Pinterest, and they have a top that I am looking for, and it's called the Calusa top. But notice they have keywords in it. Calusa long sleeve turtleneck bodysuit. They also have the color pale pink, and they also list the size. I'm going to actually click on this and I'm going to show you how it looks on the website because it's going to look the same. And I want to show you exactly how the product details also have keywords in it. As you can see, the product details here, they list their keywords at the very top of their product details section, which is key to getting your products found on Pinterest or even found on Google. So I'm actually going to click over and we're going to look at the landing page for this product, right? So as you can see, the same keywords we seen in the product title on Pinterest is the same keywords we see on their website. Also notice here, look at their product description. They use the same keyword, long sleeve turtleneck bodysuit, in their product description. It's the first keyword there. Now, for Google SEO, this is key because when search crawlers are indexing a page, they're going to look at certain sections of your website to understand what that page is about. When it comes to your product page, the search crawlers are looking for the product title, the product description, the product image alt text, the product URL slug, and they're looking for any content on the website that has the keywords in it. This is everything it's going to look at, or there's more things they're looking at, but those are the main things they're going to look at to actually show that product to anybody who is searching for that on Google. Same thing for Pinterest. Pinterest is a search engine. So this is actually a great way to make sure your products are being found on the platform by making sure you have keywords in your product title, keywords in your product description, and also make sure you have keywords in your image alt text as well. And I also want you to take a look at the URL slug. So the landing page that you're leading people to for your products, for example, should also have keywords in it. This is key. So if you look up here, now I can tell that this is probably a Shopify website, just how the permalink looks. But after their domain name and after products, they have keywords after the name of their product. Now, I honestly wouldn't recommend putting the name of the actual product that they decided to name it, but they did. They did Calusa, but look at this: long dash sleeve dash turtleneck dash body dash suit dot pale, and then that's the keyword that they actually set for the URL for this page. Now, I would recommend taking the name out and just have long sleeve turtleneck bodysuit. And then just pink. I wouldn't even put pale pink in there, but it's still a great way because once people are landing on your website from Pinterest, when you have that little code on the back end of your site, when you claim your website on Pinterest, make sure you claim your website. But what it does is that it actually tracks exactly what people are doing on the platform, and Pinterest is going to use that data to actually push your content out to the right people. So if they're staying on that product page for a long time, if they're actually checking out or adding things to cart, the Pinterest code that you put in the back end of the site is collecting all of this data. And the more that it's being engaged with, of course, the more it's going to push that data out to the right people who are searching for a similar product. Keep in mind, Pinterest is a search engine, so the first thing when people are landing on your site, the first thing Pinterest is going to notice is the URL slug that you're leading them to. Does it have keywords that match exactly what you told them they would get on the Pinterest platform before you let them off? So I know there's a science to all of this, but it all adds up, I'm telling you. The next thing I want to talk about on how to get your product seen on Pinterest is to make sure that you are posting relevant and quality and consistent content. There's a few different creatives on Pinterest. The main ones being standard pins and idea pins. Standard pins are the pins that are just the images that actually lead traffic off the platform. And idea pins, you can't attach a link to idea pins unless you are a verified merchant, or if you're using affiliate links, you can actually use the product sticker tab. And that's only available for mobile devices, by the way. You can't do that on desktop version. But anyways, an idea pin is supposed to be used to build engagement. It's supposed to be used to keep people on the Pinterest app longer. And now, for you as an e-commerce brand, when you're using idea pins, you want to make sure that you are sparking some type of engagement that's going to have people save that pin. The more people who are saving your content, the more in the ranks of the Pinterest algorithm you're going to be. Pinterest loves when people stay on the platform longer, so if people are saving your pin, they're always going to probably refer back to it, and it's just keeping them on the platform longer. So create how-to videos, step-by-step guides, behind the scenes. You can even do, behind the scenes of a product launch. I love idea pins because it's a way to sell without actually selling your products. And make sure you're adding a call to action in the last slide of your idea pin. And don't forget to use that sticker tab to add the link of the product that's relevant to what you are talking about in your idea pins. Now, when it comes to standard pin, once again, the main reason why brands use standard pins is because they're trying to drive traffic to their website. This is where my fifth tip comes into play. I do not think it's wise to only lead people to product pages on your website. Why? There's a few reasons, but the main reason is this. Pinterest audiences are mostly cold audiences, which basically means if they're finding your brand on Pinterest, they have no idea who you are. They don't even trust you yet. They have no credibility. You have no credibility with them. You have no authority with them. You have no awareness with them. They might like the product that you're selling, but before they actually buy, they probably want to learn a little bit more about your site. And they're going to probably go through all different sections of your website in order to build trust, in order to make that sale. So this is where blogs come into play. As an e-commerce brand, it is so important to have a blog on your website. The top brands are using blogs on their website to funnel people from the awareness stage all the way down until they actually become a customer. I'll actually give you some stats here on the screen that shows why blogs can be a great attribute to your marketing strategy when it comes to converting customers who are at the awareness stage. Now, back to Pinterest. So if you have blog posts, right, that are relevant to the products you sell, once you're driving people from the Pinterest platform onto that blog post, right then and there, you're building authority with your industry, you're building credibility, you're building trustworthiness, you're building awareness, and at the end of the day, you're kind of sharing more about your understanding of your own brand, and people like that. People like to know more about a brand before they buy from them, right? So when you're using blog posts, let me show you an example of a brand who's doing blog posts as well that actually also has a presence on Pinterest. So H&M is also on Pinterest, and here's a blog post that they're leading people to, right? So I just found this blog post on Pinterest actually because I was actually searching for it myself. And this is the top menswear trends, and this is for winter 2022. So I clicked on a pin on Pinterest. It led me to this blog post. Now I'm gonna click on this blog post to tell you exactly how you want to use blog posts to funnel people down further into the conversion funnel and potentially become a customer with you. So the first thing I want you to notice is that it's sectioned off pretty well. So you always want to make sure your blog posts are sectioned off. It's easier to read. You have images, so that it's just easier to read on the eyes. But the main thing I want you to notice, because we're not talking about Google SEO. I can go on forever on how to make a blog post show up in search results at the first page or rank number one, but this is about Pinterest. The first thing you want to do with blog posts is make sure that you're adding images of your own products that are relevant to this blog post. The next thing you want to do is make sure you're adding links to relevant products. So internal linking is very good for SEO, but this is also good for the customer journey. Because for example, if I'm reading this blog post and I'm interested in something that they are talking about, I want to be able to shop it. So down here, they say shop the story. So I can click on things that they mention within this blog post. Now, if I was writing this blog post, I honestly would have these links attached to the pictures. I would also have links to certain products underneath the pictures as well, because you can't click on this. There's no links within here. Honestly, I can do way more better writing a blog post for them. But hey, this is H&M. So I guess they don't have to do much to really convert a customer, right? But for our smaller e-commerce brands, I highly recommend you. So for example, in a paragraph like this, I would add relevant links to a product. I would add an image. So the same way they have shop the story down here, I would add that actually throughout this blog post so people can shop faster. And so most of the times people don't make it all the way down to the end of a blog post. So you want to make sure they're able to shop faster by putting links at the top, in the middle, and at the bottom, so that way they can shop further. And when you're making blog posts that are interesting to the end user and you have relevant products that actually make sense with that blog post, you are just driving them further down into the conversion funnel. And not only are they coming from Pinterest, but now they can become a new customer as well. Now, here's another thing you want to make sure you have within your blog post, and that's somehow to catch or funnel in leads. And I mean basically an email list. Not everybody who lands on your website from Pinterest is going to be ready to buy your product, especially if it's a cold audience who have never heard of you before. They may like your product, but they don't trust you yet. There's no credibility with them yet. So what you want to make sure you're doing is capture the people who are not ready to buy by making sure you're embedding some type of email sign up link, right? You always want to either offer a freebie. So for e-commerce stores, that might be maybe 15 to 20% off. It can can be free shipping over a certain amount for new visitors or some sort. You want to give away something so that way you can capture emails of people who are not yet ready to buy, and then use that email list to nurture that audience and to buy in your high ticket products. It's honestly so simple and easy. I don't know why most e-commerce brands are not doing this when they're trying to use Pinterest for their business. Because at the end of the day, if you're only leading people, if you're only uploading images of your products with links that lead to your product page, honestly, at the end of the day, it's not really building any connection with a consumer. At the end of the day, once again, these people don't know who you are. So if you're just leading me to a product page, yeah, it's cute, but like, I can go to a brand I probably trust a little bit more and purchase from them. That being said, make sure you have testimonials on your product page. It really takes you a long way. So that is it. That's all the tips I have to make sure that your products are not only getting seen on Pinterest, but helping to funnel the traffic you are getting into Pinterest to eventually becoming consumers of your brand. If you love this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel. And don't forget to turn on those notifications so you're always notified every single time I post a video like this when it comes to Pinterest, when it comes to SEO marketing, when it comes to blog marketing. So make sure you hit those notification buttons and you'll never miss a video like this again. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.